Hello, hi. If you're here, that means you want to learn how to paint a movie-accurate 3D printed Green Goblin helmet. But before we get into that, I want to really quickly go over everything from parts 1 and 2, so that way everyone's up to date. So the first thing we did was found a 3D model online. I'm going with a model from Beck 3D on Instagram. Highly recommend it. The quality is amazing, and it's been a great model to work on. Once we did that, we printed everything out in a few different pieces using PLA Plus and fused it all together using a soldering iron. After that, it's, of course, the fun process of sanding and filling everything. If you want to see the full process on that, go ahead and check out parts 1 and 2. For the color shift paints we're using, we're going with Tester's Color Shift. We have two different colors we're using that I'll get into later in the video. And then after that, we just finished sanding everything up, put a black base coat on the helmet, and got it ready for the final paint job. And yeah, that's where we are. Okay, bye. Impressive. The green paint is in here. The gloss black helmet is right here. So, time to finish the Goblin Helmet, baby. Look how tiny these are. Like, hold on. This is a normal can of spray paint. This is the gloss black that I used. This is the green. This can was $5. This was 13. Goblin helmets are pricey. Oh my god. It's so small. It's literally the size of the normal cap. Oh my god, I have to use here we go. So, something really important that I forgot to mention about this paint is it's really important to do lots of really light coats. The nature of this paint, acting almost as a tint, means it's really hard to notice when you do your first few coats. Honestly, I didn't really notice the paint really showing up until my third or fourth coat, so it's really important to be patient, not overdo it, otherwise you can end up with some running paint, which obviously you want to avoid. But yeah, so the key to success with this is lots of really light coats over a long period of time. It looks great, but we have a problem. So because of the nature of this paint needing a black base coat and it essentially acting as like a pearlescent, it's actually really hard to see how thick this stuff is going down. And unfortunately, as of now, you do still get that purple, but you only get it because right now you're getting natural light, which has a blue tint to it, at least at this part of the day. So this actually becomes almost like a gold. You can see in the highlights here that it is a lot more actually like copper gold, which makes sense because that is the actual paint color, green copper. So essentially what we're gonna do after we get the next coat of this is we'll go over and do one light dusting over the entire thing with this purple. And the idea behind that is it'll essentially cover up any of the copper highlights, at least most of them, and replace them with the purple tint. So that way, depending on what lighting you're in, you should only be getting green and purple. Okay, first coat was done, but still a bit of a visible seam here, and unfortunately, did go a little heavy with the overspray, so I'm actually going to be putting the entire thing in the sink and wet sanding down those rough points just so I can go back through one more coat of the paint before putting the top coat of the mainly purple coat. So yeah, now you guys get to see me sanding, but this time with water. I did come back and do a test on the final purple. So the top half of this is how it's supposed to look. Just a bit lighter of a green, and then you get a much more purpley tint. Yeah, there you go, you can really see it there. But this is it, final pass of paint. To repeat what I'm doing, I'm going over the entire helmet with a light pass of the purple fog, which was the main purple but also green tinted pearlescent. And then we're done. I'll let it sit, and I need to put a gloss clear coat on it, but yeah, that'll give you guys a good idea of what the final paint looks like.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Okay, so we're at my very, very messy desk in my studio now to pretty much finish this thing up. Overall, I am so happy with the finish on this thing. So all that's left to do is add in the magnets for the different mesh and back plates for the mouth, as well as the actual back plate for the helmet. So yeah, I've already got all the magnets test fit in there. I took a little bit of adjustment, I had to go in with a soldering iron and kind of widen out some of the holes, but overall, yeah, it's looking good, and now you guys get to watch me super glue all these in. Well, it's finally done. 100% done this time. So happy with it. There's a little bit of stuff you can customize or change up in it, I guess. So right now we've got the mesh back plate, which pops out very easily. So it's all just magnets and everything. So you can pop it out and smile big. And then we've got the rigid solid back plate, so that way you can't see into the mouth if that's the way you want to do it. And then we've got the back plate. So this thing has a lot of magnets that line up with a lot of magnets in here. It's a little funky. It takes a little bit of getting used to just because of the size of this thing. It's hard to line the magnets up. But so, pretty much just grab the back plate, go to the front, go ahead and put it on. Make sure you slide your face all the way forward. And then you basically want to make sure that the magnets in the back line up. You'll kind of hear those snap into place. Then you just pinch the sides and it locks right into place. And that's it. So, we got the razor bat as well. So this thing was modeled by my good friend Dominant Designs. And yeah, this was just printed all in copper with some few pieces highlighted. So it's actually designed to come apart. It's got these little pegs which are on, these are just paper clips, so you can snip those. But yeah, guys, but yeah, super happy with how this turned out. It's easily the coolest helmet I think I have ever made, and I'm gonna have to make a couple more of these pretty soon. The sanding and paint on this thing was absolutely insane, but I am very excited to get some more done. And that's it. But yeah. So, yeah, that's the Goblin Helmet, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this video will be helpful to a lot of you building your own helmets. Planning on doing a lot more tutorial builds similar to this. If there's anything specific you guys want to see, please let me know. And yeah, thanks for checking out the video. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. And yeah, cosplayers, do it best.